Your AI prompts are costing you hours of frustration. If you feel like the response that you get from AI is random and not very useful, it's actually not the AI, it's the way you are prompting it. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 frameworks that you can use to change this useless response into this one. And here's what most people don't realize. AI isn't random. It is responding to what you give it, and more importantly, to what you are not given. And I will explain more along the way. Do you see this response? It's vague, it's generic, and useless. It's not the AI's fault, it's the prompt. In the last video, I explained about the basics of the prompting, and this video will be more deep and it exactly explain what frameworks that you can use to transform the response that you gain from AI significantly. The first one is context setting. Think of AI like your new assistant. It doesn't know anything about you. If you jump straight to the question like most people do, the responses you are going to get at the work that you want to get done is going to be generic. The problem is that new assistant doesn't know anything about you. Why? It doesn't know exactly what he's doing and what it is that he's focusing upon. Earlier in the video, I said that AI is responding to what you're giving it and more importantly to the one that you are not giving it. What this means is any context that you are giving to the AI, it's going to use that context to give you the response that you actually need. But whatever thing that you're missing out on, it's going to guess. So that's what I said, most importantly to the one that you are not giving. So whatever you are not giving, AI is guessing. So you don't want to leave that gap to AI to guess. If we say, for example, write my marketing email for my product, we're not giving any context at this point. We're just straight to the question. We didn't specify what the product is, who the audiences are, who I was. I didn't give any of this context. And what this causes is that AI will start to guess and fill in those gaps by its own. And we don't want to do that. And we have to specify exactly what the context that AI needs to give you that response. The second one is specifying format output. What this means is that if you don't tell AI exactly how you want it, it's going to choose it for you. For example, if you ask something in ChatGPT or any other AI, the responses is going to be so big. We're gonna get bored along the way, and you're not gonna get the points from there. And what you wanna do is, but you have to specify in what format that you want that response to be. For example, in a bullet point. In a bullet point, you're going to see exactly what are the points that you need to get out of that prompt without having to read all through the paragraph. Or for example, you can say in written list or maybe in a step by step. It depends on how you want it, but having to tell AI will actually be very helpful in giving you the response in that format that you wanted. So for example, if you say, give me social media ideas about fitness, the responses you are going to get is going to be like in a big paragraph where all of them are like squashed together and just presented to you. You don't know exactly what you are getting out of those because it's overwhelming and there are a lot of things in there. Specifying exactly how many you want. For example, you can see the format like 10 social media posts about fitness and is using a numbered list and each of them with hook, value point, and CTA. What you're doing at this point is you're limiting AI to how it's going to respond to you in what format that is going to give you that response. The third one, and one of the most important thing that you can use when prompting in AI is asking questions. By asking questions, what you're doing is you're closing the gap that AI is going to guess. You're giving the context that you need, and any context that you might not have filled it up, you're telling the AI to ask you the questions first, and I will fill in the gaps by myself and not let the AI guess by itself. And that is actually one of the most important things that you can do. What I'm doing at this point is I'm telling AI that I will fill the left context by myself, and I'm not going to let the AI to fill in the gaps by guesses. Every time you write some context, at the end, if you say that ask me anything that you need to give me the tailored and contextualized response to answer that question, you are telling AI to not guess by itself, but rather ask us and tell us to fill in the gaps by ourselves. Okay, now the fourth one. The fourth one is giving examples. In case you didn't know, AI is very good at learning patterns. So if you give some examples and tell it to give you the response based on this pattern or using this analogy, it's going to give you exactly that. And what it allows you to do is get the response that you want within that pattern that you want. And it's actually one of the most important things that you can do. All right, now is the fifth framework. The fifth framework is role assignment. So this is also the game changer that you can do, and allows you to get the tailored and specific response that you get, expert level response that you want to get from AI. What you're doing at this point is you're assigning AI a role by which to answer you that specific question. There is a subtle but insanely powerful difference there, because it shifts the way it thinks. It shifts the perspectives on how exactly to view to the question that you just asked. If you ask about something and assign a role to AI that is expert at this thing, you will view it not just from a general AI perspective, but it's specifically from that role, from that expert perspective. And it allows you to get the response, the specific deep response and expert level response that you want from AI. And it's actually very important. Every time you're communicating with AI, assign a role to it first with whatever topic that you're using. It doesn't matter. Whatever topic that you're using, assign a role as an expert to the topic that you were talking about. And the responses will be far, far beneficial and useful. Instead of saying, help me improve my resumes, you can say that you are a senior human resource recruiter and you are a Fortune 500 tech company. You've reviewed 10,000 plus responses. Tell me what makes you reject this versus the top of the pile. Be brutally honest. What you're telling AI to do is that you're assigning the role that person that have reviewed those all resumes and know exactly how to differentiate between the resumes. And it's going to tell you brutally what exactly that you have to do, and is my resume good enough or not, or how exactly can I improve the resume. And trust me, it's going to give you an expert level insight just because of this one, because you're assigning that role. It's going to give you that response from that perspective. All right, now let's recap all five of them. The first one is context setting. You're telling who you are and what you need in a contextualized manner. The second one is output format. You're telling AI exactly how you want that output format to be in. The third one, ask question first. You're closing the gap where AI might be able to guess and give you a generic response. Four, giving examples. AI is good at recognizing patterns, and if you give examples, it's with the responses that you get will be within the pattern that you gave. Five, role assignment. You're giving AI a perspective by which to view at that question and give you tailored and expert level insight. And now we've seen the five frameworks, and you don't have to necessarily use all of them throughout every prompt that you do, but depending on how tailored and specific that response you want it to be, you can add in these frameworks and get the most out of AI. The more you use it, the better response. Alright, these are the frameworks that we have seen, and I hope you've really enjoyed this video. If you found this video to be helpful, I would appreciate it if you give me a like and subscribe and follow for more.